So that's wraps on all updates coming within 2024 for Rust console. Now, to look for 2025, I did have like a recap of the year of what updates I think would come to the game, and my god, did I just shoot for the stars, and there was no stars. There's a couple of things I got right, but the majority was wrong, which when looking back at my 2022 to then 2023 guess, I literally got all of them right, which was really cool to see. And then this one was just absolutely dreadful. However, let's look towards 2025. 2025, I've already said, is the year for content because it's the most versatile the game's ever been. The most variety and ideas that you can get out of creating content with community servers. They're not obviously refined and the best they can be, but they're a lot better than they were a year ago. So we have that as well as officials and the updates that are coming to the game. Now, 2025 updates, let's talk about them. Let's talk about what I think should come to the game in terms of priority, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. First off, fuck me, this just has to happen. I think this is the most important thing the game has or needs at this moment in time, and that is performance. It needs better performance. You have people that are lagging out of the game, crashing, when the game it's not even 4K. It barely looks 1080p, and you have people crashing here, there, and everywhere. Performance needs to be better within 2025. It needs to be something they focus on, as well as graphics. I don't care about any other update within this game if we were to get better graphics and better performance. If we were able to get them and it would be smooth sailing from there and we'd have a really good game to play on, then sure, then incorporate those updates that you wanted to incorporate. But for me, the graphics and the performance needs to be the priority, in my opinion, and not just my opinion, a lot of the community's opinion. The amount of hate that console Rust gets over on Twitter about performance and people crashing out and the dog shit graphics. Of course, the graphics look better than they were in 2022. But the 2022 graphics were absolutely dog shit, let's be honest. 2024, the graphics aren't exactly what you thought they would look like when you think of the game being out for coming up or approaching 4-year anniversary. And we kind of already know why. I mean, yes, the Xbox Series S and, I think it's the Xbox Series S that would be the one that's, not going to go to the stratosphere with how good the graphics can be. However, the Xbox Series S is not an old gen console. An old gen, there's a really clear cut difference between old gen consoles and the Xbox Series S. So let's not kind of use that excuse as to say, let's keep old gen on. No, we need to somehow get old gen off this game and cut it loose. But that will be when other games start to do the same. But strictly speaking, Rust console, they need to move to new gen so they can then optimize the game for the best of its ability on the new gen consoles, better graphics, better performance, and hopefully along with that, a lot more swifter and faster updates that come to the game. Now let me just clarify, this is not me saying that you should get your money up and buy a new console. You have multiple ways of buying things nowadays, if you have the money or if you don't. If you don't have the money, or if you get paid steadily through the month or through the weeks, you can pay it on multiple things. I don't know if you have Klarna out there in Europe or outside of Europe, but you have Klarna, ClearPay and everything like that, where you can pay a certain amount each month, and this could be for months, this could be 3 installments, or you can obviously pay it up front, as well as Black Friday, as well as Christmas sales and discounts. What I'm saying is it's getting easier and easier to buy a new gen console. However, if this is something that you don't play gaming as much as you used to, yeah, you shouldn't really invest in a new console if you're not playing that hard. I wouldn't waste money on it. However, if you're a die-hard gamer, I can't really see why you would be playing old gen consoles if you really are hardcore into gaming, and you wouldn't invest a bit of money into the new gen consoles. So performance and graphics is something that I think should be at the forefront for this game into the new year. I mean, if they're not going to make any more updates until late January, they should really look into what the community wants. They should do some community polls, not just within the Discord, but on X as well. I think they do on X and Twitter. I think they should just cut back from everything they're doing at the moment and just look at what the community wants. And the community wants better graphics, better performance, and then we can have the bigger updates. Speaking of bigger updates, I mean, there's no bigger update than air transportation because it's a brand new way of playing the game and transporting yourself around or traveling around the map and on your server. Helis just, adds a completely different factor of how you play the game. You can raid differently, you can get away from people differently, you can gain loot differently from blowing up people. It's kind of like tugboats, but in the air. You see how much fun people have on PC, and now you see them coming to Rust Mobile. Console's the only one going without at the moment. By the way, the mobile version is still in fucking beta. It's in beta. It might not actually come to the final version, but they're in there, and you're able to play on them within the game's beta. Do you remember what the console beta had? Yeah, it wasn't Helis. I get you can't promise people what you can't deliver, but I still think within the dev blogs they should have hints or some image. You know the Easter eggs within Call of Duty Zombies? The Easter eggs within that and the storyline was just monumental, one of the best, if not the best. Alongside, I'd probably say Red Dead storyline. The Call of Duty Zombies storyline was just epic. I'm going on a tangent here, but they should just drop Easter eggs here and there within the dev blogs, within some images like of helis in the background. You're like, whoa, they've got a heli in the image. Get people pumped that way. Instead, they just tell us what's coming to the game, and that's it. You're going to leave people either happy or you're going to leave people, unhappy, and you're going to get a mixed bag. Of course, you'd rather have the mixed bag, and that's where you'd have Easter eggs, whereas if you have the quality of life update, which I believe that's the quality of life update we've just had, there was just a little segment in the dev blog, then it was about Christmas, which most stuff we already knew about, and that was it. There was nothing else, and it just left people kind of like, do I even want to still play this game? Because I don't see where they want it to head. I don't see where the game's heading. I don't see what the dev team want to look into. Even just getting a segment of the dev team really want to bring out this within the next year. Not promising people, but at least clarifying that the dev team see and hear what people want within the community for this game. Because at the end of the day, you're paying for this game, you pay for the skins, and you want the game to be like PC. If Helis don't come next year, then there's not... What does this game have to offer if it can't produce Helis? A really big thing within Rust, and now a bigger thing that's mounting within the community for console because we're waiting for it. If it doesn't come in 2025, I don't even have an answer to that. Another thing would be, for me, in my opinion, so aside from the graphics and the helis or air transportation with like air balloon as well included, I think I'd really like to see Ziplines. Ziplines is a really cool feature. I don't think it should be a hard update or something to port from PC. That takes a lot of time. It's very much simple and self-explanatory, but Ziplines, something else that is really cool. And alongside that, cars would be nice, but before cars, we need this: bigger maps and higher populated servers. 4 years we've been playing this game now, approaching 4 years, and we've had 100 pop servers. There needs to be more people populating these servers, the maps need to be bigger, and until then we probably won't be seeing bigger updates. So when we do see bigger servers in terms of maps and higher pop, that's when you can start, rubbing your hands together and being like, okay, this has got me excited for huge updates such as cars and such as helis or air transportation. Those are when the big boys in terms of updates come, when you have more space within the server. Because as you think about it now, what's the point in having cars and helis to travel around a 3.5k map? I know people are going to probably bring this up within the comment section, but I'm not going to talk about an anti-cheat because I don't know, it's been 4 years and the anti-cheat should have been released, maybe a year back. So I guess that's just something that's ongoing. I don't think it'll be like ever refined and finished, so we'll see what happens with that, but I don't think that'll come in 2025. This is something that I know a lot of you have been crying out about, and that is build skins. Having your base look in the style you want it to. I think build skins is a really cool feature that really should come to the game. It's something they should consider. At the end of the day, these skins make them money, and everyone is kind of like getting to the point where they're moaning about, they're bringing out all these skins, whether they're reused or new, but they're not kind of changing the game in terms of updates and performance. However, you're going to catch a lot of people's attention and shut their mouths when they see the buildable skins, because they are cool, and especially within PC. When you look at gameplay, I looked at Blueprint's video and he done Alone in Tokyo's base, And man, oh man, just with that skin looks really nice and just adds something different and a bit of a style to your base. Something else that I think should come to the game that I would be really happy about, well, two things I should say. One being content drops, in terms of content creator drops. The thing is, I can't really see them dropping many. These are the people that I think they would drop the content drops for. Jade Monkey and Obi are the two that spring to mind. Obi has been someone that's been creating content since this game's inception. He came from PC, and I made a video on him and his rise to where he is now. Jade Monkey has been someone that's been covering updates before I was even ever talking about updates. And those are the two key people that I think, you know, that are close with Double 11 that would probably get themselves a skin. Because you can be big within Rust Console, but if you piss them off or you're banned, yeah, you're blacklisted basically. You're getting nothing. And the other thing that I think will come to the game, whether I want it or not is a different matter, is the new recoil. I think we're going to get the new recoil within 2025. I think this recoil has kind of done its job. I'm not saying that it should be changed. I just think it's been a long time, and Double 11 want to, you know, these updates switch up the game. A recoil update is one of the biggest, if not the biggest update to come to Rust, because, you know, most of the time on this game you're shooting a gun and you're trying to control the recoil, and they have literal servers dedicated to this. So everyone has been shooting guns within this game. So recoil changes that completely. It's going to change how people play. It's going to change the scripts people use. You know, there's a lot of things that's going to change. And I think the recoil will come in 2025. The FOV is something that I just have no answers to. I really hope they do bring back the old FOV. It'd be really cool to see, but we're just going to have to wait and see for that. I have no information on that as of yet. So those are the updates I want to come to console within 2025. There's quite a lot there. I don't think all of them will come unless, you know, Double 11 pulls the hand out their arse and actually brings all of this out. Then, you know, I think there's going to be some things that come to the game. I don't know what they would be, but these are huge things to come. And I think they're in the pipeline for them to bring out, just for the pure fact that, one, it will gain them money, and two, it will either boost the player base or the community with new players, or bring back some OG players. Let me know what you guys think. That's all for today. See you in the next one.